Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back again to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm playing Legacy today, and this is a donation deck list from subscriber Poo22, who called it, quote, my Space Godzilla deck. He was somewhat insistent that I play the Godzilla arts on the available cards, and I'm excited that they were accessible on Magic Online, that I could acquiesce to that request. So what we're looking at here, if you look at the first half of the deck, just imagine that, not gonna lie, they had us in the first half meme. This looks like just lands. And there's a swamp in there that's not usually in lands, but like the Mox Diamonds, this is just a lands package. There's a Field of the Dead, there's a Dark Depths, there's some Thespian Stages. This is a lands shell. But then these bottom two rows get weird. Starting with 4 Chains of Mephistopheles. If you're not familiar with this card, let's bust out the flowchart. If a player would draw a card, except the first one they drew in their draw step each turn, that player discards a card instead. If the player discards a card in this way, they draw a card. If the player doesn't discard a card this way, they mill a card. So what this does, you've seen a lot of Hull Breacher on my channel lately. Hull Breacher replaces draws with treasures. This, just think of it like Hull Breacher, but instead of replacing a draw with a treasure, it replaces a draw with a rummage. So rummage is the discard a card, draw a card mechanic that a lot of red creatures have. And if your opponent has no cards to draw, if they are hellbent and try to draw an extra card, they end up just milling a card instead. So this is a pretty classic legacy card in certain types of black-based prison. This was kind of the only card that did this before we got Leovold, then Narset, then Hull Breacher. So this effect's getting more popular, but Chains of Mephistopheles as a 4 of is not something you see in Legacy. And the combo with that is this Dark Deal. It's a 3-mana sorcery from Fate Reforged that says each player discards all the cards in their hand, then draws that many cards -1. So you end up doing like a really shitty Wheel of Fortune. Your opponent, if you have chains in play, this is a player. This is symmetrical. My bad. I'm used to the Leovolds and Arches. So both players end up just milling a shitload of cards. If a player doesn't discard a card this way, they mill a card. So Dark Deal says each player discards all the cards in their hand, then draws that many cards -1. So Dark Deal makes sure your hand is empty before you start drawing cards, so chains will just mill. So this is like a turbo mill thing. It makes both players hellbent, makes both players mill a bunch of cards. And then from there, the fun and profit, we have Bloodghast, which comes back from the graveyard. Punishing Fire comes back from the graveyard. Life from the Loam does stuff with your graveyard. Centaur Vinecrasher, this is a cool one. This is a 4-mana 1/1 with Trample. It enters the battlefield with a number of +1 counters equal to the number of lands in all graveyards. And whenever a land is put into a graveyard from anywhere, you can pay green and put it in your hand from your graveyard. So this is probably the primary win condition in the deck. You'll eventually mill it, you'll eventually regrow it, and then you'll play it as just some preposterously huge creature. And Boneyard Lurker, then we get into the mutate package. So Boneyard Lurker, whenever this creature mutates, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So that can regrow one of these other things. Mutate, by the way, since there are so many keywords, if you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target non-human creature you own. They mutate into the creature on top plus all abilities from under it. If you're not familiar with mutate, that this is easier than it sounds. It's like an aura that replaces or in some way augments a creature. So if I were to mutate Boneyard Lurker onto Bloodghast, if I choose to put Boneyard Lurker on top, I would have a 4/4 that when it mutates, you get a permanent back from your hand. It also can't block, and if my opponent has 10 or less life, it has haste. If I put Boneyard Lurker under the Bloodghast, it has all those same abilities, but it's a 2/1 instead. So it just gets all the abilities, and then it becomes the biggest creature in the mutate pile. Oh, that was a mouthful. So, Anguirus, Armored Killer, aka Gemraiser, is another mutate card. This mutates, it becomes a disenchant when you mutate it, but it's a 4/4 reach trample on stats, so you can upgrade a Bloodghast to be something pretty juicy. Batra the Dark Destroyer, aka Dirgebat. When you mutate this has flash, and when you mutate it, you can destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. BioQuartz Space Godzilla, aka Brokos Apex of Forever. When you mutate this, you can cast it from your graveyard as long as it's mutating. So as long as you have a non-human creature in play, you can cast this from the bin. And it's a 6/6 trample. And then coming out from the bin, in addition to Bloodcast, there is HOGAAK Arisen Necropolis, who you can cast from the graveyard, and Poo22 Unchained, who escapes from the graveyard as a 12/12 creature. And so it's a 0/0, comes into play with 6/+1 counters, 12 if you escaped it. If it would take damage, remove that many +1/+1 counters instead. Just prevent the damage and remove that many +1 counters. And you can pay 3 to have it fight something else. The combo here is that if you mutate onto Poo22 and put Poo22 underneath the mutate creature, so if I escape Poo22, it's a 12/12. I put Space Godzilla onto it. It's now an 18/18 because it's a 6/6 with 12/+1 counters on it. And it has Poo22's ability, which is prevent damage and remove that many counters. But unlike Poo22, Space Godzilla is a 6/6, not a 0/0. So when the counters are gone, it just can't take damage anymore. And it just stays in play as a 6/6 trample forever. So, wow, that was a lot of explaining, but there's a lot going on here. Basically, we're just trying to get both players to shit their decks into the graveyard where my deck can function and their deck can't. And in the sideboard, nice and boring, there's just a black-green depths package. This is basically just the black-green depths deck in the sideboard. 4 Thoughtseize, 3 Sylvan Scrying, 4 Crop Rotation, the other 2 stages, the other 2 depths. So we can board out of this wacky mess if we expect graveyard hate and just make a 20/20 instead. So that was probably the longest deck tech I've ever done because there is so much happening. And I'm excited to get into this. Let's go Godzilla some people. All right, so I'm on the draw here in round 1. This hand doesn't actually do anything. So I'm going to mulligan it. The Bloodghast, I had no way to get them into play. I can have 2 men on turn 1, but I'm not doing anything. Like there's no chains. So I'm going to ship that. This hand is at least has Punishing Fire going on. I guess I have to keep this. And I'll send a Bloodghast to the bottom. Depending on what they do turn 1, I'll probably just Pithing Needle Wasteland. Make sure I don't get shwasted. Preordain, this could be Snow, it could be Blue-Red Delver, or it could be Show and Tell, or Doomsday. All are on the table. I'd probably just name Wasteland regardless, just in case. But if they are Doomsday, I think I would want to name like Street Wraith or Edge of Autumn. I'm going to name Wasteland just to make sure I don't get wasted out by Blue-Red Delver. There's so much going on so many things that could be, that naming anything other than the card I'm worried about doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, I think they are Doomsday at this point. Bummer. All right, this hand is getting a little awk. I can Dark Deal next turn. That'll be fun. If I draw a land, I can Dark Deal next turn. So, I mean, I guess Dark Deal is pretty exciting because my hand sucks. Just turning it into new cards It's pretty cool. All right, cool. It is a land. It doesn't make mana, but I have the workaround. It's time to try to make a deal. Probably just have to get by you here. Doomsday as a deck, if that is what we're playing against, will struggle pretty hard with a Chains of Mephistopheles. I guarantee my opponent has never seen this card on the stack before, because neither have I. They're trying to figure out what this does, if they need to counter it. Is it good for them? It might be good for them, honestly. Who knows? But they have cast Preordained Brainstorm and 2 Astrolabes. They've done some cantripping, they've done some shaping of their hand. I don't know, I'm kind of excited. If their hand has Uro in it, they might just want to let this resolve, like if they are Snow and not Doomsday. What a delight. It resolved. Okay, they are Snow. I can even get my Bloodghast back, because I haven't played a land yet. The next turn I can hardcast Bloodghast and play Hogak. Hell yeah. So they could have forced that and just decided not to. It's probably a reasonable choice. Alright, so Snow is definitely a deck that will struggle with Chains of Mephistopheles. One, two, three, four, five, six. I'm actually 1 card short of bringing back Hogak. So, never mind. I'm not actually close to casting Hogak. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, this is some sort of pile deck. Chains. I really needed a chains there. One, two, three, four, five, six. Sucks. Oh, I should have attacked, because they can't really block, because I could have fired their Arcanist. But now they can... Damn it. Yeah, I fucked that up. Yeah, now they can cast Swords to Plowshares. Get rid of my Ghast. Yeah, so I probably want to mulligan for a Chains in this matchup. Now that I know what it is. I mean, Chains off the top might still just crush this opponent. I'm not sure why, if Mana Bond is something this deck actually wants. Like, Mana Bond does a good job of dumping your hand into the graveyard, and it goes off with Loam, but I'm already suspicious that, I mean, there's only 26 lands in the deck. It's not like a 40 land deck that we would have seen in like 2011. Oko's bad news. If they elk my Mox Diamond, I'm just gonna be dead. They didn't do that. I could play another Dark Deal. That's not even good. Alright, I'm gonna concede this game. They have 4 different permanents that I can't beat in play. Alright, now I know I gotta look for a Chains. Boarding into the Depths package doesn't even necessarily make sense here, because they're a Swords to Plowshares deck. So I'm going to take the Mana Bonds out for Thoughtseizes. And just hope that I don't lose to Rest in Peace. I feel like this list would benefit from a couple abrupt decays. I guess we have Anguirus, the Armored Killer, for that. So I do have one out to a rest in peace. There's also a 61 card deck, so I don't think I need Tabernacle in this matchup. It's not. Oh, I guess I can discard it to Mox Diamond, so it does have better utility than you might expect. All right, so I have Loam in this hand. I have a Space Godzilla in this hand. But this hand doesn't do what I want. I want a Chains. Okay, yeah. I'm keeping this. I will put the second Thoughtseize on the bottom. So if I bottom Thoughtseize, I think I want to play Bajuka Bog on turn 1. Just no love bog you. I'll bog myself. Get fucked. There's no laws. And then next turn I'll Thoughtseize them and then also play Chains. Then hope that Chains can win the game on its own. Because that's all I got. I guess I should respect, I don't know, days? What am I even respecting here? Respect nothing. Alright, so they have Back to Basics and Force of Will and Uro. So I definitely can't beat Back to Basics. If they want to Force of Will my Chains, it's going to cost them their Uro. And then they just have a bunch of lands in their hand. Wow, Back to Basics is a beating. I hope they let this resolve. Just think they can beat it, because they're wrong. But they go, their hand becomes like just nothing if they don't, or if they do. I don't know. I'm excited about this either way. It's him to Turok hitting their best spells. It's 2 Thoughtseizes, or it's just Chains of Mephistopheles in play. Oh, they're deep in the tank on this one. Yes! I suspect that was a mistake. Like, I think they're going to regret letting that resolve, but we'll see. Oh, now they are. Alright, now you're going to have to force this anyway, or you're just hellbent. Alright, Poo22, I see what you're doing here. Force pitching Uro. Alright, they're hellbent in one way or another. I guess if they drew Oko on one of these last 2 turns and just go land Oko here, I could still just die. Ah, come on with the fetching. He drew Oko. This is bullshit. Yeah, so Oko, while being I don't think it's a bannable card or anything. It is certainly very good at making these sort of goofball decks very bad. Like, I just did some cool shit. I have Chains of Mephistopheles. I got them to Hellbent, but oh, okay. So they want to preordain. I guess they can have enough lands in hand they can cash in one of them without a huge problem. Like, this preordain ends up being card negative. instead of just a cantrip. Alright, there's not like a Dryad Arbor or anything I can do that's cool with this forest. Nope, doesn't look like it. Now I'm just gonna get beat up. Alright, so what am I hoping to draw here? Like Poo22, probably? Definitely not that. I'm gonna attack. It doesn't even matter. Oko has so much loyalty. Alright, I guess I'll attack Oko, even though it truly doesn't matter. Cool. Yep, not bad. They're gonna cash in this other land for this ponder now. I definitely think this is right to do. This Oko is just so far ahead all on its own. Batra costs, I think, 6 to mutate. There's no way you can read that. I can't even read it. Okay, there it is. 6 to mutate when this creature mutates. Okay, so I need to have a non-human creature in play already, and also 6 mana before I get to mutate. Yikes. Remember when I cast Chains of Mephistopheles and thought that would be good against this Hellbent opponent? And then they just ripped. So, I probably want Mox Diamond more than I want Caracas. So, there's that. Yeah, I gotta find, like, Poo22 pretty quick. Or the Centaur Vine Crasher would also be enormous. I didn't need another Chains. I lived my entire life thinking this was a enchant world or like legendary or like something reason you couldn't have 2 in play, but it turns out you can totally just have 2. All right, I'm dead. Got beat by a much more streamlined, coherent legacy deck than the one I'm playing. Unsurprising result, but we had some explosive potential there. They really did just have to draw Oko in those 2 natural draw steps, or else that game would have been way more interesting. I am on the draw against the Power 9, who is a friend of mine and a excellent vintage player. Vintage top Eternal Weekend top 8s, constantly farming the weekend vintage challenges and showcases. Last I heard, he was on like Ad Nauseam Tendrils in Legacy, and he top 8'd a Legacy challenge with it a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna keep this hand just because it's funny, but in general, he does have a propensity for combo, and he's just gonna fucking play Delver on me. Okay. Make a fool out of me, will you? This could be Ad Nauseam Tendrils just bluffing that it's something else, but I doubt it. Let's see if this Dark Deal resolves. The darkest of deals. I'm definitely getting a basic here. Forest or swamp? Does this matter? This probably forest lets me rebuild better if I lose these Mox Diamonds somehow. Let's make a deal. I hope you didn't want those cards. If anyone can appreciate a Wheel of Fortune, it's the Power 9. This is probably just going to get dazed. Oh, nope, it worked. Okay, it is Ad Nauseam Tendrils. I was correct. These mana bonds are not good. Alright, yeah. He said boo when I put the spell in the stack, and then yay when it resolved. So I'm probably dead. He said the hand was good, but this will do. Fair enough. Yeah, I do not care for these mana bonds. I wish I had changed them before I started the league. Alright, Storm is 5. You get Past in Flames, a million things. Yep. Yeah, you get Past in Flames. I just filled the graveyard with more rituals, so that was a pretty easy one to close out. Pithing Needle has no text at all, so I think I might as well bring in some depth stuff. Batra doesn't do anything. Boneyard Lurker is really slow. Like, crop rotation can get Bajuka Bog, which can mess up a depths line or a storm line. Like Past in Flames, Maze of Ith is really bad, but I do still have the Mox Diamonds. Alright, I'll cut one of the mazes. I still want Tabernacle in case he tries to empty the Warrens on me. Space Godzilla is bad. Basically everything's bad. I'm gonna need to... Yeah, Anguirus is out. Oh, Punishing Fire is even worse. So Anguirus is back. And I basically need a Chains of Mephistopheles very early. Like, I need to combo him before he combos me. But his deck is actually good at doing what it's doing. I would like to play first. Alright, so I have the crop rotation. Does that do anything that I needed to? And I have the Dark Deal. I need a Chains. Okay, I'll take a Thoughtseize. Several Thoughtseizes even. This is a keep. I'm gonna send Bloodghast to the Shadow Realm. So I'm gonna Mox and Thoughtseize. Just do this before the Veils of Summer get online. Make sure I don't get turn 1'd. Brainstorm, Chain of Vapor ad nauseum. I'm taking Brainstorm. Although this Abrupt Decay is also bad for me. Yeah. Oh, this Chain of Vapor is a nightmare too. Just bouncing Mox Diamond is absolutely brutal. Alright, I guess I have to hope he doesn't notice that. Like, if I can get to next turn and cast this Loam, that's fine. Alright, cool. So, I'm not gonna just lose to Chain of Vapor anymore. Please don't have drawn Veil of Summer. Ooh, Wishclaw Talisman. That's also a good one. I'm taking that. Leaving him with that ad nauseum isn't ideal. But Wishclaw is whatever he wants it to be. Especially with that LED. Alright, so now I'm dredging Loam. One of the engines is online. That means I can't get chains anymore, because I'll dredge past it. But it's just like a race to Polukranos at this point. Or looking for the Thespian stage is probably the thing I actually want. I'm not quite dead to a Dark Ritual. It's close. I'm dead to Dark Ritual and Lotus Petal, or 2 land drops. Yeah, this ad nauseum's really close, and I'm not applying any pressure at all. I can Ghost Quarter him now, though I don't think that's actually good. I guess he has Decay and Chain of Vapor, so Chains of Mephistopheles doesn't even really matter. Well, we found Polukranos. I'm just 4 mana away from escaping it. Alright, is he gonna decay me now? Yep, there it is. No surprises there. So I guess I'll play this Depths because it is the land that I have. Yeah, I got away with a couple turns there because it just wasn't time to pop off yet. But that was a very good Abrupt Decay. I figured he'd realize I wasn't doing anything eventually. Yeah, this is probably just to get Hellbent for Infernal Tutor, or build Graveyard, like work towards Threshold. Because like he knew my hand was just lands. Alright, well there's Thespian Stage. Now there's actually a clock. He has this turn and next turn to win the game. Oh, and he has Chain of Vapor in hand, so that's not even true. He has this turn and next turn to bounce my Merit Lage. I guess I'll play this fucking Tabernacle. Whatever, it's the land drop that I have. So he can chain my Merit Lage, and then I can regrow my combo. Then I have to keep surviving after that. I get to take a actual draw step this turn because Loam is in my hand. This is a little bit exciting. Not really, but like a little bit. He's even at 22, so even if Merit Lage connects once, I don't even necessarily win the game. Like if he can come up with a deterministic Past in Flames line that doesn't need ad nauseum, I could still lose. Chose not to shuffle, great. That's what I wanted to hear. So even fetching, he's still at 21. He's gained 2 life this game, thanks to my Grove of the Burn Willows. I feel like I want to make the Merit Lage in the end step, even though I know it's covered with Chain, because like I don't even have black mana to try to Thoughtseize. So I'll do the thing, I'll get chained. Yep. No, I would not like to sacrifice a land. Thank you. Alright, Bloodghast, what's up? Just keep getting that life total up. Keeping him out of range of Merit Lage forever. I mean, the Tabernacle cuts off an empty line, but I don't think that is going to matter much. Now I'm a Dark Ritual, or a land drop. Alright, he can ad nauseum now, with LED mana floating. the value ad nauseum. Okay, yeah, he did not play LED. He still has his land drop this turn too. This has been kind of a inexpensive one. All right, there is a tutor there and one ritual. Oh, now there's two tutors. So yeah, if he finds a dark ritual or lotus petal, I die. Ooh, do you have to stop now? Yes, you don't have to stop now. Or yes, so if he flips past in flames from here, he dies. So it's not guaranteed anymore that ad nauseum is safe to flip with. Oh, he went again. Got another LED. Still needs a dark ritual or lotus petal to win the game. There's a lot of twos in the deck. So this is pretty close. This is getting competitive. Merit Lage is definitely lethal now. If I hadn't tapped Grove the Burn Willows 3 times this game, he'd be dead. So next turn there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, I'm easily dead next turn. I boarded out my Punishing Fires. That would be the draw. So yeah, I am dead next turn. If he found Past in Flames off that Ponder, I'm dead now. Oh no. Wait, what's happening? Oh, there, yeah, okay, there it was a Past in Flames off the Ponder. Yep. Okay, I am deceased. GG's. All right, on to the next one. And I'm on the play. In round 3, I have another mana bond in my hand. This hand does not make 2 mana. All right, there's mana bond again. If it's ever going to be good, it's here. So let's try it. I don't need Mox Diamond if I'm mana bonding. Bond, mana bond. All right, let's see. Boom goes the dynamite. Force of Will, GG. So if I draw Light from the Loam off the top next turn, all right, JK, didn't matter. So we're playing against Delver. They pitch Delver to that force. Ooh, Centaur. About time. Got some action here. So this Punishing Fire is good against Delver. It's bad against Dreadhorde Arcanist. It's also bad against Oko. There's Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, I definitely want some Abrupt Decays in this deck. Alright, I hope they're not 4-color Delver, because I just fixed their mana. I'm protecting my Grove of the Burn Willows from Wasteland by playing out the other lands first. For each land card in all graveyards. So they have one, I can fetch to have another one. We'll see how this goes. If they fetch again, it'll be a 4/4. This card's pretty cool. Like, alright, JK. It will be enormous when it comes into play, but it's not going to come into play because they have Wasteland. Yeah, I guess Mana Bond would have been great here. It would have been like a turn 2 Centaur Vine Crasher. Alright, they didn't waste me. Not yet, anyway. Alright, do you have Stifle also? Okay, thank you. Alright, I'm gonna play Depths because I kind of hope they do waste that instead of one of my other lands. Alright, I'll summon my Mighty 3/3. Get the engine online. Dies the Lightning Bolt, unfortunately. If I could get one more land in the graveyard before I deployed it, it would be a lot better. But that's fine. It is what it is. You just let it resolve. Don't care, Lightning Bolt. They did not waste me, which was either a disciplined line, protecting like themselves against Dark Depths, or they need this mana for something. Like they could cast Hooting Mandrills right now with this land. I guess wasting a land is the same because you just get to hoot. You get to delve with the hoot. Yeah, so Vine Crasher, unfortunately. I don't have green available. This card is pretty good though. Like if I'm still in this game at all, the next time I cast it, it's going to be huge. If only the deck was capable of destroying a Dreadhorde Arcanist, I would actually feel pretty far ahead here. This card is fucked up. Like if there is a bannable card in Legacy, it's this one, Dreadhorde Arcanist. Card is super cool, really fun when you are the one playing it, but that is a low cost to just go nuts in Eternal formats. Just have a 2-mana 1/3. Old Tarmagoof. Okay, so I can fetch to rebuy my Centaur this turn. And then I can play it next turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Taking 8, then I can summon a giant creature. Alright, I didn't even need their help. But they gave it to me anyway. Give me my Centaur. This fucking Centaur is doing way too much work. That also took a creature out of the graveyard for Tarmogoyf. That was cool. One less damage. So they have to Force of Will the Centaur. Force of Negation never works. I'm going to have 5 mana to play around Daze. They've already made their land drop for the turn, so I don't have to worry about Wasteland right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 7/7. I really hope this card just wins the game. Just showcase the power of Centaur Vine Crasher. The absurd power. The broken power. Do I have a second Taiga in this deck? There's one Taiga and no other fetchable red source. Great. So I cannot kill this Delver right now. I'm going to leave my fetch land available. It's Force of Will or bust. They had it. Alright. Force of Will, pitching, negation. Alright, Mana Bond would have been great this game. I take it all back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm dead. There's not a way out of this from here. Oh, Centaur Vine Crasher. If that engine was any better, like any faster, or if it was backed up by anything, that would have been really good. All right, so I like Thoughtseize, still don't like Mana Bond. Like Pithing Needle. I think the rest of this is all fine. Maze of Ith is actually good here. Caracas is less good than Thespian Stage in this matchup. Caracas has no targets in their deck. I guess I could like bounce some of my own stuff to save it, but I don't think that's gonna come up. All right, back in. Maybe Polukranos will be the hero we need here. Chains of Mephistopheles also dunks on their deck pretty hard. A hand with 1 mana and 2 dark deals. That's a mulligan. I can keep this one. I'll send one of the dark deals to the bottom. How many of those could you need in a game? All right, let's see what they've got over there. Try to clear the way for my dark dealings. Oh, no threats. Force of will and force of negation. I'm gonna take Brainstorm. Like if they force a dark deal, that's actually a good deal for me. This is all assuming I draw a mana source. It's dangerous assumptions, I know. It's cute that they're playing around Wasteland like that's even a card in my deck. Yeah, this deck could use some Wastelands in it. I'm a loam deck with no Wastelands. Yeah, there's 3 Ghost Quarters. I guess, like, I'm Pithing Needle naming Wasteland. That's what the Ghost Quarters are supposed to be doing. Alright. I get it. And I really want to put this Dark Deal on the stack. They topped. Love it. Okay, so I can fire this. And they need a Daze or they need to force a will. They can't force a negation on their own turn. So it would be the perfect answer to Punishing Fire most of the time. Haha, get wrecked. I hope they do force this because their hand isn't exactly very good. And like I would prefer to get a Hypnoturok out of this than like nothing. And I lose my Anguirus for it. Yep. Alright, I'm Hellbent. You have 4 cards in your hand, 4 fresh ones. Let's see where this game can go from here. I want to pull off the Chains combo like one time in this league. Just come on, give it to me. I think there is like something to the Chains combo. Like I've played on this channel Hull Breacher plus Days Undoing, Hull Breacher plus Echo of Aeons. Like I've done it all. And this is kind of the non-blue version of that. We have shredded a lot of Wastelands out of their hand. But it needs to be supported in a more solid shell than this. All the random Godzilla cards and stuff over just like Abrupt Decay and Wasteland. It's kind of loosey-goosey. And Grove of the Burn Willows could dominate this game. I would take that even. What if they have Dreadhorde Arcanist here? This game is over. Oh, good. My uncastable Boneyard Lurker without mutate. So the Bloodghast is a very cool piece of technology to have a repeatable non-human creature to mutate onto, but the deck runs out of land drops pretty quick, especially when it's just wheeling its own hand away constantly. Yeah, maybe I could just draw a land and play this as a 4/4. I think this deck needs more lands in general too. Like 26 doesn't seem enough to support everything it's trying to do. Hooting Mandrills. Well, if I draw a land, I do have a 4/4 of my own. Cool. Well, let's take a look, I guess. These cards in their hand are going to do more damage than this Thoughtseize will. Alright, I took the Delver. So I'm taking 7, I go to 5. Even if I draw the land and trade with Hoots, and they don't have a blue card, I go to 2. And I'm just dead next turn if I don't. Alright, what did you draw? You just have Oko? I think if they have Oko, they just keep it in their hand for Force of Will. I'm dead on board. Just keep your counter. Oh, backup Hooties. Alright. Got him. Alright. Yeah, I'm dead. Got crushed there. It seems like maybe I'm supposed to be mulliganing to chains just super aggressively. Like the Dark Deal is just not even a magic card without chains in play. And I play the same number of each, but I seem to have drawn like two Dark Deals at the game, and we've seen chains once in 3 matches. We are on track for the reverse sweep though. I got to take a game before this league is over. Have to. And I'm on the draw in round 4. My hand literally doesn't do anything. All right, once again, we've drawn 2 Dark Deals and no chains. Yeah, I have to mulligan this too. Okay, a turn 1 chains. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Send Mana Bomb to the bottom, and I guess I'll send Punishing Fire to the bottom too. Let's hope this is some sort of, I don't know, high tide deck that literally can't win with chains in play. Oh, they're Death and Taxes. They don't give a shit about chains at all. Unless I Dark Deal them. Right, I'm still gonna chains. I didn't come all this way to not chains. Yep. I don't know. I feel like this deck needs like Dark Confidant or like something other than Loam to get some forward momentum. I have turn 1 Chains of Mephistopheles. Haha. But so what? It doesn't do anything. Oh my god, I just named Pithing Needle. I was busy talking about the deck and I named Pithing Needle with Pithing Needle instead of Wasteland. Great. That is gonna go down as one of my finest brain farts. Oh my god, we could still do this. Punts and all, I could make them hellbent. Like, if I draw a land before they draw Rishadan Port or Thalia. They missed their land drop last turn. Oh, they found it. Don't have Skyclave Apparition. Oh, that's even worse. That's so much worse. They get to flicker my Mox Diamond, and I obviously don't have a land to discard, or else I would have played a land last turn. My opponent just lost connection to the game. Maybe they won't come back. That's my win condition now. Okay, so I drew this Tabernacle, which doesn't make mana. I guess that will at least tax them a little bit. It might bait the Wasteland, which is fine because I need actual mana. Like, I don't even think it matters. Even if I pop off my combo at this point, like if I just runner, like basic land, activate the combo, I'm still just dying in 4-point chunks, and it doesn't matter. And if they don't waste my Tabernacle, then they know that. They definitely know that. Might as well play that out, I guess. They're saving that Wasteland for something. Just not playing the land is the same as them having Wasteland. Okay. They made the opposite choice. So no Wasteland, no Port, no Thalia, land off the top. Sanctum Prelate. Naming 2. Okay. The card I want to cast costs 3. Sucker. Yes. Okay. We've executed the combo while dead on board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not quite dead on board. But we did it. We did it exactly one time. Okay. My opponent just said I was their hardest opponent at Eternal Weekend, but I am much easier this time. I can loan back Tabernacle and still just lose. Oh, right. They have Prelate on too. Alright, doesn't matter. There were no draws there. Fucking Pithing Needle on Pithing Needle. Save that one for the highlight reel. Alright, get out of here, Mana Bond. I think I want more stages just as lands that tap for mana. Chains only matters in the context of my combo. I'm going to shave on a Dark Deal, because I seem to draw them 3 times more often than chains anyway. I guess I can cut a chains too, because I'm playing against a deck that doesn't draw any cards. Okay. This is as good as it's going to get. Alright, so, okay. This is a pretty reasonable loam start. I can crack a fetch, discard a land, cast loam, get 2 lands back. This hand gets blown out by Surgical Extraction though. Everything I have is a double. I'll just lean into Wasteland, because with Loam running, if they want to waste me, that'll set them back a turn. And a card, and I'll just get it back. Polukranos is looking pretty likely to arrive this game. Alright, so Verdant Catacombs, Dark Depths, Bayou, put all those back in my hand. So I can just cast Polukranos next turn. I'm so excited. Against the deck that plays Swords to Plowshares and 3 Caracases. Oh, and also rest in peace. Great. Oh, this has been a delight. Might as well get my taiga. The third loam. Cool. I spent several games just wishing I could draw loam, and then I draw it 3 times in the game where my opponent has rest in peace. All right, Poo22, go coast to coast, because I need you to. If you don't do it, no one will. All right, so they're not going to have Plow, they're not going to have Caracas, and I'm going to draw a Mutate creature for the combo. And then they will never have Plow or Caracas after that. Oh, yeah. Poo22 at least made it into play once in this league. Great! Thalia, okay. So I need Pithing Needle for Caracas. Alright, I guess I'll at least jack your shit up with Tabernacle. And so Tabernacle demands 1 mana, and then the Caracas is another mana, but they have Aether Vial, so they're not even really hurting on mana. Alright, another creature put into play before my Tabernacle triggers. I don't mind that. Death and Taxes feels like a hard matchup for even like normal coherent land stacks, and this one is all over the place. So they paid, if they want to bounce Poo22, that means they're not putting in Batterskull this turn. Yeah, they can just wait a turn and do it all. But I guess the same thing will happen next turn. Okay, so I'm gonna fetch Basic Forest out of the deck. Then I can pay 1 for this Mox Diamond, discarding one of these depths. And then summon Poo22 again. I'm almost at enough mana where I can summon it and fight something right away. Yeah, I can actually do that next turn. Costs 3 to fight target creature. Let's see if we can somehow let Poo22 win this game all by himself. Okay, that's smart. They just vialed in, or they stoneforged in the Batterskull, then didn't pay for Mystic, so that's a way to cheat on 1 mana to iterate all of it at the same time. Alright, Thoughtseize is a turn late here. This Poo22 is the hero we needed. I could just fight Batterskull right now, but I think I want to wait. I want it to still be a 6/6 in combat. So like they have to kind of respect. Like it's not like they can just not activate Caracas because I can block with my 6/6 in combat. Alright, fight this. Oh, you had Swords to Plowshares too. Oh no, you have Thalia, you can't plow. They do have Swords to Plowshares, but they messed up with their Thalia. Nice, I'll take that. You got a deal. So one of their 4 cards in hand is Swords to Plowshares, and none of them are lands. There are 4 spells and or creatures over there. I could just kill Thalia right now. I should probably do that. I'll do it in the end step. And they can plow Poo22 now. But he's done his job. Recruiting for Flickerwisp, maybe? Like Flickerwisp gets the recruiter chain going. Oh, Skyclave Apparition, no! My poor Poo22, he tried so hard. This has been the most back and forth game that there's been by a lot. Goodbye, Poo22. Spirit of the Labyrinth. Yep. We both play Chains of Mephistopheles, but theirs is a 3/1 and mine doesn't do anything. Speaking of. Okay, I'm dead. All right. One more match to go. So we have successfully fought a creature with Poo22. Check that off the list. We have Wheel of Fortuned someone. We pulled off the combo. We still lost, but we did it. Now the only bucket list left for this deck is to actually mutate a creature. None of which that has not happened yet. So I would like to mutate something onto a Bloodghast and just have the one more match to do it in. I don't want to jinx it, but we are on the play with a turn 1 Chains of Mephistopheles and Life from the Loam. Let's just hope they're a deck that wants to draw cards and doesn't play Force of Will. Is that too much to ask? Chancellor of the Annex. Well, maybe it was too much to ask. So I'll get my Taiga. I'll play Mox Diamond. I'll pay 1 for it. Discard Ghost Quarter. And I'm going to hold up this diamond so they have to respect crop rotation for Bajuka Bog. I know that I don't play crop rotation in the main, but they don't. No respect at all. It's getting thought seized. They're going to take my chains. They might just take Mana Bond, actually. Like, Mana Bond plus Loam could make this happen. Alright, I've made fun of Mana Bond for the entire league. It's time for this card to actually do something. Ooh. They try to break my chains, but the chains only break me. Easy. Then I'll play Mana Bond. And I will activate. I am going to activate it to get Loam into the graveyard. Alright, Loam's in the bin now. Okay. So even if they make Grizzlebrand, they can't draw 7. Oh, I guess they can. They just have to discard 7 when they do it. Which might actually be good for Reanimator. Yeah, Reanimator is a deck that has fallen off the map because it can't really hang with Force of Negation in the format anymore. But it is certainly good here against my deck, my defenseless little deck. I had my turn 1 chains, and they just couldn't let me have it. Alright, Grizzlebrand's in play. Oh, they're doing it. They're doing the thing. So they have to discard 1 card, then draw 1 card 7 individual times. This is pretty funny. Alright, this is worth it. I'm going to count this as comboing off for me. So I need to dredge Loam into Caracas is how I win this game. And I got to do it quick. I can try to land screw them while I'm at it, I guess. They play a couple of basics. At least you don't get red mana. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So I can fetch without changing the clock. I guess actually if I find a Dark Depths now, because I found the stage, if I find a Depths off of Loam, I can also still win this game. As they could put a second monster into play and make that not as likely. Fearlessly drawing 7 into chains twice. I have a lot of respect for that. Yeah, if they can reanimate a Chancellor, they definitely should, because that puts me dead on board. Discard Faithless Looting. Who needs Faithless Looting when you have Chains of Mephistopheles plus Grizzlebrand? That's the real combo. Just discarding their reanimates. That makes sense. They're not casting that one. They can cast Exhume, though. Oh. Oh, do they have the Tendrils package in here? I don't have any creatures in my graveyard, so they're going to get back a Chancellor. Do they have another Exhume? I mean, they've drawn half their deck. It wouldn't surprise me if they could do 2 things. Okay, so I'm going to fetch, get my Bayou. Thespian Stage is going to copy my Taiga just because it can. I don't think that matters or does anything, but I want to make them think about it a little bit. Loam, save me. I found a Depths. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I need green in there. I will pay the Troll Toll. Then play the Depths. Mana Bond will trigger. Yes. So I have 1, 2. Pretty sure there are still fetchable lands in the deck. I do play a lot of them. So I could still Ghost Quarter and make Merit Lage. Yeah, I think I want to take them off as much as I can. 2 seems like a reasonable number of basics for them to be playing. They might have more. I don't know. Nobody knows. All right, yeah, they're out. So Merit Lage can block Grizzlebrand this turn, and then it can block Chancellor next turn. And I get to Ghost Quarter them again, so they're running out of options pretty quickly here. though they have seen half their deck. So the one card in their hand that's left over there should be pretty good. Though they can't reanimate. 1, 2, 3. There's 2 Badlands in the graveyard and a swamp. I don't know. This is going to be close. This is the closest anything's ever been. Oh, they didn't even attack. That's great. I mean, I still make Merit Lage here. Keep this one, make my 20/20. Let's find Caracas. Still didn't find Caracas. I found another Ghost Quarter though. Stage Depths and Ghost Quarter are what I'm getting here. Oh, I found a Bloodghast. It even has haste. We're doing it. I don't think I attack with Merit Lage. Nah. I'm gonna let Mana Bond trigger. Put my new combo into play. And Ghost Quarter them again. Alright, maybe I was supposed to attack with Merit Lage because I can just make another one. Or I can just keep sitting here and hope I mill over Godzilla and mutate Godzilla onto Merit Lage, because that'll give it trample. We won this game somehow. Alright, on the board, we have won a game in this league. Count it. I think this is definitely a matchup where we just bring in the entire 15-card sideboard and become Black-Green Depths. Sorry, Space Godzilla. Sorry, Boneyard Lurker. HOGAAK. Though HOGAAK's pretty hot if they try to exhume. So Pithing Needle's kind of good. Maze of Ith's very good. Punishing Fire doesn't do anything. Do I just cut the whole Dark Deal package? Probably. That's not very good against Reanimator. I want all this other stuff. Mana Bond won me that game, but that doesn't mean it's good. Anguirus can go away. Centaur Vinecrasher could be pretty fucked up off of an Exhume. HOGAAK is bad. Pelucranos Unchained. Though they can also reanimate my creatures. So maybe I just need to be a Merit Lage deck. And that is what it is. I want to leave Dirgebat in there. Just for the possibility of living our mutation goal. The mutation dreams. Alright, in comes this whole deck. I'm thinking about the mana bonds. Like, I think yeah, I gotta respect the donation deck list and just leave 3 of these crazy creatures in. I kind of hope I do lose to my own reanimated Centaur Vinecrasher. Well, I have all the best cards in my deck are in my opening hand. Isn't it weird when you board out 15 weird cards and board into a functional deck how much better your hands look? Like I have Caracas. That's one of the best cards. Brajuka Bog, Thoughtseize, Crop Rotation for Brajuka Bog, and I can do all of it thanks to the Mox Diamond. Alright, so Mox Diamond, discard this basic forest, I guess. Show me your thoughts. They're probably going to entomb in response. I don't think they play like Veil of Summer or anything like that. Up there's the entomb. Oh, Ashen Rider. They're respecting the Chains of Mephistopheles this time. Alright, I'll strip the Animate Dead. Their hand is pretty bad and susceptible to a crop rotation. And if they don't, like, if this Faithless Looting doesn't come up with some sort of plan very quickly, I'm going to be threatening Dark Depths in 2 turns. Dark Ritual, that's fine. That's just another card that commits to... Alright, so we're going to get to crop rotate here. The Taiga doesn't matter, so I'm gonna get Taiga because I'm sacking this land anyway. At the Bajuka Bog. I'm gonna maximize this window to make sure I don't misclick. Bog. Okay. They have 1 card in hand. No payoff in their graveyard. We're still holding Caracas. And we can crop rotate for Dark Depths. Alright. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're gonna win a match. So I'm gonna rotate for depths in the end step. So I can make Merit Lage next turn. Dark Depths. Bango. The joys of having a functional strategy. Yes! Alright, we won a match. 2-0, no less. No game 3s. 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, 2-0. You'll love to see it. So, obviously this deck is doing something wild. Poo22 knew that. Like, I'm sure he didn't send me this deck actually thinking it was just, like, really great. I think the Dark Deal Chains combo is pretty cool. Like, having played Hull Breacher plus Draw 7s in a variety of formats and decks at this point, I know the power of putting your opponent to Hellbent. I think that, like, Centaur Vinecrasher was pretty close to doing something that one match against Rug Delver. This card might be real, but it needs some support. Like, Mana Bond was bad. Get some more lands in this deck. Just I don't even know if I should be like fixing this deck, because you could just play lands or you could play 4-color Loam if you really want to be doing this. But the goofball cards around it, this whole mutate package unfortunately doesn't look very good. Finding some way to win out of the graveyard is important. Maybe just have all 4 stages and another depths in the main, so you have a reasonable win condition once your opponent is hellbent. But that's my feedback for this deck. Cool combo, didn't really execute, and all the Godzilla monsters seemed like they were more fun than functional, and none of them came into play even once. So sorry, Poo22, that we couldn't destroy Tokyo this time, but we did not go 0-5, and I'm going to count that as a win. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.